here's the bad news. Around the world, things are getting worse. The Muslim Brotherhood has won the presidency in Egypt. His name is Mohammed Morsi. He made history this weekend as their first ever Islamist president. Oh, happy days are here again, right? Here's a celebration in Tahrir Square. They were chanting Allah Akbar, which is usually what people say right before they blow themselves up. The media is billing this as a wonderful victory for democracy. Europe's democratic triumph. That's from Cairo. Democracy prevails. I like this from the New York Times. Egypt results leave White House relieved. Yes, I'm sure the White House is relieved that they have an ally now from the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. Egypt's new leader, dutiful, pragmatic, Islamist. Oh, okay, that's good. I don't need to tell you, what this program said and what we predicted over a year ago, what would happen in the Arab Spring, because it's all happening now. We said Muslim extremists would take it like they did in 1979, and they are. We warned about the radical Muslim Brotherhood taking over, and they have, while the administration would cozy up to them, and they did. We were called crazy for warning about this, and we added, there's one more step, the Caliphate, global unrest, and war. Here's what you need to know tonight. Be careful who you listen to. Listen to those with a record of being right, and listen to your own gut. Think out of the box. Others warned for the call of the Caliphate increasing. The list isn't really long, but here are the few of the people that actually warned. Eric Stakelbeck from CBN, David Horowitz, General Boykin, John Bolton, Andrew McCarthy from the National Review, and Frank Gaffney from the Washington Times. I was mocked for it, and they have been too. You know about Bill Kristol, but who are the others along with Bill Kristol that you probably shouldn't ever listen to? Well, here they are. We have Bill Kristol. We have Will Bunch from the Huffington Post, which I've never read anyway. We have Dana Milbank. She was saying that we were crazy. Howard Kurtz, CNN, Washington Post. Rich Lowry, National Review. Chris Matthews is always wrong on everything, so of course he's on this list. James Clapper, the Director of National Intelligence. Brotherhood is largely a secular organization, and they don't have any intention to have any kind of power. Oh, really? David Brooks from the New York Times said that I was wacky and had delusional ravings about the Muslim Brotherhood. Barack Obama, he was radically wrong. Radically. Let's fast forward to today. The group whose main goal in life is reestablishing the Caliphate, that's not me saying that, that's their own charter, holds the presidency. These guys in group number 2 should have known better. All of them should have known better. Some of these guys, I think, are either delusional, just possibly in with the Muslim Brotherhood, and others are just living in 1985. It doesn't matter what happened. They were wrong. And you should have to handle their opinions with extreme caution, because if they were so wrong on this, what next is coming their way that they will miss? Now, this group, on the other hand, they were right. It's important you know who you can go to now to trust. You should look forward to these people and their writing, and you should pass them on to anybody else. Listen to the people who have given you the advice that is right, and pass it on to your friends. So here's what's coming next. There are, I think, really 4 things. I'm going to hit 3 of them now. The first one is a caliphate. It is coming. How it comes, when it comes, I don't know, but that is the goal. Morsi had been in the Brotherhood now for 35 years. His first active role in the Brotherhood was through membership in the Anti-Zionist Committee in the late 1980s. That projected the rejection of the normalization of the Jewish state. He also supported the Muslim Brotherhood's policy that called for barring women and non-Muslims from the presidency. Morsi said he'd implement Islamic Sharia law, saying, quote, "The day will come when the Sharia of the truth is put into effect." His platform that he just ran on was written by the Muslim Brotherhood. He didn't run as an individual, but as an executor of the Brotherhood's platform. That's not good. Here's one of the huge rallies in support of President Morsi. This just happened a couple of weeks ago. I want you to watch.
حلم الخلافة الإسلامية حلم أرض الخلافة يتحقق بإذن الله على يد الدكتور محمد مرسي ومن معه من إخوانه وجماعته وحزبه. رأينا الحلم الكبير الذي نحلم به جميعا. الولايات المتحدة العربية.
Caliphate.
الولايات المتحدة
The Caliphate will be restored, Allah willing. Watch carefully.
إن شاء الله. ستعود الولايات المتحدة العربية.
The Caliphate will be restored. Watch this. Here's the new president of Egypt. Notice he's shaking his head. He's shaking his head. Yes, Allah willing, the Caliphate will be restored. But there's more. Go ahead.
ستكون عاصمة الخلافة ستكون عاصمة الولايات المتحدة العربية هي القدس إن شاء الله.
Perfect. Perfect. During this same rally, they also all took part in a song. They sang, "You are all Hamas," and banish the sleep from the eyes of all the Jews. The Muslim Brotherhood's general guide said, quote, "The Islamic State starts by reforming the individual, followed by building the family, the society, and the government, and then rightfully guided caliphate, and finally achieving mastership of the world, a mastership of guidance, instruction, truth, and justice." You know what that is? Progressivism. It's going to take it one step at a time. He also said that the marriage between Cairo and Tel Aviv is illegitimate. Now compare that to the Morsi who said, as president, he planned, quote, "an Egyptian renaissance with an Islamic foundation." Reports today say Morsi is already reconsidering the Israeli-Egyptian peace treaty while looking to improve the ties with Iran, which also, the clowns over here that were really, really wrong, they all said that wouldn't happen. It will. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's what these people are missing about the Middle East. Yet another report today claims that the Islamist group is planning to, quote, "do away with film and artistic heritage, replace police uniforms with Islamic garb." Oh, won't that be a snappy number? Make memorization of the Quran a precondition for advancement in school. Replace the national anthem with the anthem of the Islamic Caliphate. The addition of Islamic media organizations, which would publish the Islamic heritage. Okay, so Caliphate is coming, only a matter of time. How much time? Don't know, but that's what their goal is. Two, the second thing that's going to happen, and really it leads to the Caliphate, are the covert tactics. Everything will be done covertly. They'll be doing it because the Muslim Brotherhood has changed. They have expressed admiration and desire to follow in the footsteps of Islamists in Turkey, the AKP party. These are the people that implemented a gradual change plan. Progressivism. You see, progressivism, as I said at CPAC 2 years ago, when the Republicans really started hating me, progressivism is a disease, and it can infect anybody. It has infected the Democrats, and it is advanced to cancerous stages, and I don't know if you can even save it anymore. It's diseased inside the body of the Republican Party. It's diseased in some of our churches. It's diseased in our labor unions and our schools, and it is diseased around the world as well. It is now a disease in the Muslim Brotherhood. See, people use it because it's smart. It's smart. If you take little baby steps, it's boiling a frog. They never jump out. They also use centrist and populist sounding words. For example, the Muslim Brotherhood has named their political arm the Justice and Freedom Party. Ooh. And like a fish following the bait, the media goes right along with it. CNN has reported today that Morsi has resigned from the Muslim Brotherhood. Oh, well, then that should exonerate him from the group's certifiable crazy and dangerous beliefs, despite all the facts that have happened in his entire life. Obama called Morsi and described the victory as a milestone in Egypt's democracy. Trust me, it is exactly that. Now, how has this happened in America, that you have all of these people going wrong? Well, I think, and I mean this with all due respect, I actually do, Bill Kristol, he did a lot of wonderful things in the 1980s, but Bill Kristol has not come out of the 1980s. The people who designed the Reagan Revolution are still living the Reagan Revolution. That is the problem with many of the people that are in office right now. They're not thinking in terms of today. The world has changed. But other people, like Barack Obama, I think, are influenced by the infiltration that he has himself done, the infiltration of our government by the Muslim Brotherhood. We showed you the infiltration in Rumors of War 3 and in the new book, Cowards. The Caliphate and the Western way of life will not coexist. They cannot coexist. It will be the end of the Western way of life if we don't listen to these people and stop listening to these people because of step 3. What leads to chaos? Well, the covert tactics. Economic and civil. That's what's coming. Economic and civil chaos. Do you remember in the 1970s, the wonderful Carter era? Oh, I look back on it as if it were poison. Those days don't come back. Oh, wait, they have. What happened during the Carter years? We became weak on supporting Israel because we were weak on communism. We were weak on Iran. And the Cold War got worse. Russia started making friends in the Middle East. Is it a coincidence that now, under Obama, all of exactly the same things are happening? No. It's a rerun of history. Even the uprising against Mubarak mirrored the demonstration and the uprising of the Iranian students in 1979. These guys did it in 1979, and these guys did it today. It's the same story. And tensions are rising, and alliances are now being formed, and they should concern every American. Syria just shot down a Turkish jet. They shot it down, I think, on Friday. A Turkish military plane was involved for searching for the jet, was now also fired on by Syrian forces today. The State Department, heavily influenced by George Soros, immediately condemned the action, and now George Soros's buddy, Barack Obama's buddy, Turkish Prime Minister, now taking his complaint to the UN, who will likely condemn Syria. We already had the kinetic military action in Libya. Is more military action coming today? I will tell you that these people will try to tell you, the hawks, if you will, that we have to take, all the way from this guy to I'll bet you this guy, we have to take action. We have to. Let me tell you something. Be very, very careful. Don't listen to these people. Be very, very careful. The world is about to go to war, I believe. And just like World War II, it will start with something that nobody saw coming. I told you a year and a half ago it was going to start with a guy setting himself on fire. That's exactly what happened. A guy set himself on fire. We now have the Muslim Brotherhood. We now have the tensions and the uprisings all over the Middle East. And I believe we will have global war because of that. Why would anyone say global war is a good thing? Well, for the same reason they said it was, the progressives and the Fabian socialists in the early turn of the century last time around in World War I. It's a chance to reshuffle the global deck. You can change everything. You can change currencies, you can change lifestyles, borders, you name it, without anyone focusing attention on what you're doing or who's doing it. Economic depression, chaos, war. And by the time those things are over, People don't care what you've done. They're just glad that it's over. But the power has shifted, and borders will have been changed. Currencies will change. Lives and freedom will be changed.